actually not tell you how truly weird it is to see like that many people in a chapel together because I had to like restrain myself from like yelling at the screen. I don't know if that happened to anybody else. But all right, so our quote today comes from Xiuhtezcatl Martinez. The biggest issue we face is shifting human consciousness, not saving the planet. The planet does not need saving, we do. Xiuhtezcatl Martinez is an indigenous climate activist and a hip-hop artist, and he got his start at a very young age speaking on the topic of climate change. At just 19, he has already had a major influence in holding political leaders accountable for their failure to act on the current climate crisis. He was one of the plaintiffs in Juliana versus the United States, also known as Youth versus Gov, a group of young people suing the federal government in 2015 for threatening their future with climate inaction. Martinez is also involved in Martinez versus Colorado Oil and Gas Conservation Commission, which highlights the government's negligence towards climate change and the impact that it will have on the youth. Martinez has a long list of accolades. He has given a TED Talk, has spoken to the United Nations on environmental issues, and is the youth director of Earth Guardians, an organization rooted in environmental preservation by way of organizing and policy change. In 2015, he wrote a book titled We Rise, The Earth Guardian's Guide to Building a Movement That Restores the Planet, about his work in approaching the current climate crisis and how the reader can do the same. Good morning. Today is Monday, November 22nd, and now we have a senior presentation by Caroline.
Growing up, I always wished my mom put me into soccer. I dreamed of being the kid who would score the winning goal for the team, and then during gym class, all the other kids would want to pick me first to be on the team. However, my dream was never fulfilled because my mom put me in ballet classes at the age of 3. Every day after school, I would change into tights and a leotard and put my hair back in a bun to go to a hot and sweaty dance studio. In 2nd grade, when I was 7 years old, I was watching TV and a skating competition began. Seeing the figure skaters gracefully glide across the cool ice grabbed my attention. If these young women could jump and spin on the ice, then so would I. After my skating revelation, I told my mom that I hated ballet. She asked me what I wanted to do instead, and without hesitation, I said figure skating. I ditched the hot and sweaty dance studio for the cool ice rink. I've been figure skating ever since. I started at learn to skate, and then gradually moved my way up to private lessons. Throughout middle school, I skated 2 to 3 times per week, preparing for skating competitions and testing sessions. My jumps were more consistent, and my spins were faster and showed more flexibility. I was progressing pretty well in my skating skills. Then I entered high school, and everything changed. Going to school until 3:30 was a big adjustment for me compared to middle school when I was home by 2:20 every day. Skating practices moved to Lockport, which is 40 minutes away from my house, and by the time school ended, I would not have enough time to practice. Freshman year, I only skated once a week. My skating skills, my relationship with my coach, and my enjoyment of the sport suffered. Part of me wanted to quit, but there was still a part of me that loved skating. After several years of practicing, competing, and making new friends, it would feel like I was letting myself down if I just upped and quit. Instead of quitting, I decided to change coaches. Skating at a small-sized club and having the same coach since I started skating made it seem that switching coaches was a big deal. But in actuality, switching skating coaches is a normal part of skating, and many skaters do it throughout their skating career. Once I made this change, I found myself falling back in love with skating. Everything was new again. New choreography, new technique, and new skills. With my new coach came a new outlook. Her kindness and creativity improved my skating skills and allowed me to grow as an artist on the ice. By carpooling with friends and driving straight from school to the rink, I started to skate more in Lockport and to dedicate more time to skating in general. Making a change can give you a new perspective on what you're doing. After skating for 9 years, I realized that skating is my passion. Even though I don't skate every day, I want to go to the Olympics, and it's too late to be picked first in gym class. I know that my love and commitment to the sport won't change, because every time I step out onto the ice, I get a rush of energy and excitement that doesn't leave me until I get off it. Thank you. And now I wanted to share a quick video of some of my skating. you.
Caroline, that is so impressive. I can barely skate forward, so I am in awe. Now I'd like to hand it off to the Community Service Board.
Okay, good morning. I have a couple things to say about the cleanup this weekend before we go on to our Giving Week presentation. So over the weekend, we collected about 595 pounds of litter. That included 15 bags of garbage, 5 bags of recyclables, 1 carpet, 1 stroller, 3 large wood pieces, and a door. Mrs. Hopkins will be logging the 3 hours for the event herself, so you do not have to worry about that. And now on to Giving Week. It will be from December 14th to the 18th, and it will happen if we are in school or out of school. So it'll be a good week.
So one of the biggest part of our Hanging of the Green celebration every year is the warmth tree. It's in support of Say Yes Buffalo's Parent Center at Lafayette High School. And the families served by Lafayette are immigrants, some of whom arrive in Buffalo without any clothes for our cold winters. So we're looking for donations of hats, scarves, and gloves and mittens in particular to keep these new Buffalonians warm this winter. If we are in school, there will be a box on stage. It'll be wrapped and marked so you'll know exactly that it's for the warmth tree. And if we are in school, we will get the chance to decorate the tree together for Hanging of the Greens. But if not, it's still happening. There are just going to be alternate drop-off locations, and that's not entirely worked out yet, but it's definitely happening. So feel free to start getting those donations ready, even if you're not sure about if we'll be back in school yet. And the items will be due December 14th for Hanging of the Greens.
This year, the Connect Life blood drive will not be in the gym, but with a mobile bus parked outside of SEM on December 15th. We are opening the blood drive to our neighbors in Elmwood Village, as well as your parents. Because we've opened up the blood drive to people outside of the SEM community, the sign-up procedure will be online via the Connect Life website. And the Connect Life Club will be giving more details about the blood drive later this month. You should all really consider donating if you are able, and encourage your family and friends to donate too, because just one blood donation can save up to 3 lives.
So the Giving Tree is one of the many ways that SEM gives back to our community around the holidays, and the Giving Tree helps provide gifts to kids in need. So because of the circumstances, like we're not going to have like the tree where you can pick off tags, but we're going to have like a virtual tree. It's so how it's going to work is people are going to sign up for a tag on a Google slide, and the tags are going to provide information about the kids, like their age and what they want as a gift. And if we're in school the last week before break, gifts can be placed on the chapel stage, and they're due December 18th at noon. And if we're like remote by then, we'll have like a drop off at some.
The food tree. St. Luke's Mission of Mercy is a valuable part of the Buffalo community, and they take care of the least of these. So homeless men, women, and children, and fellow Buffalonians who need assistance. With food, shelter, church services, and even summer camps, which I even worked at. That's cool. St. Luke's has recently been featured in the Buffalo News. The need for meals has risen by 300% due to COVID. So this is like a really important one. Let's do our best to be a part of it and give food items to this worthy organization. And food is due December 18th. There will be a bin, but that's if we're in school. Again, with the other things, there will be an alternate location.
So thank you all. Please consider doing any of the planned donations we have. That it'll happen in school or out of school. So I hope we get a lot of participation. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Community Service Board. Giving Week is so much fun, everybody, and definitely try to either do the warmth tree or the giving tree or any of the possibilities that the Community Service Board just listed. Do we have any faculty or student announcements?
I have an announcement. Can you hear me? Oh, thanks for the head nods, guys. Good morning, everyone on all the screens. It's so beautiful to see your faces and to be in this space with you. One second. Welcome to the dawn of a new age. I think that we are now beyond thinking that things will go back to how they were, or go back to normal, or go back at all. All that was is now memory, and it is we who decide whether we cherish the memories for what they are and create new, or stay stuck and long for what has been. Now, anyone who has spent a decent amount of time with me can attest that I do love a solid 24 hours of wallowing in self-pity. After that, I have to move on. The purpose of life, after all, is to live it and make it as good of one as possible. While I've avoided really thinking about how truly devastated my art form is by this pandemic, I have focused on how much I don't love the tools that have been offered to me in the interim until something new is created. My argument normally ends with, but unless the audience is actually engaging with us and energy is being exchanged live, real and in time, what is the point? Big sigh. I mean, what's the point? I felt downright crappy about it. What's the point? What's the point? I probably asked myself this question a million times a day about a slew of things, mostly dealing with theater. What's the point? Who would want to watch it when they have Netflix? Who would want to be a part of anything if they could just turn their TV on? What's the point? If you can pick up your phone and check it during a performance, how will anyone sit through anything ever again? What's the point? Everyone has a lot on their minds. How will they be able to focus? What's the point? What stories are worth telling? What do people want to hear? What do people need to hear? Will this add to the noise or give people a chance to escape it for a little? What's the point? There are people literally dying. What's the point? And the miraculous thing is, I keep coming up with answers. This is why I'm able to joyously bound into Shakespeare class, count minutes until I'm with my dead class, and smile like nobody's business in the infinite potential of Art's Eye and the class of 2024. It's why I am super thrilled for playing with a playwright and alive and acting, and why I have not stopped since Under Milkwood, trying to figure out how to create new. Ultimately, the point is that I believe in you. Oh gosh, what does that mean? And how very Drozdian to put it back on her students. And yet, here it is. I believe in what we create in our humble little Buffalo Seminary Theater. We may be little, but we are fierce. I believe that when I send out the theater signal, you come to the call, ready to think and feel and create and commiserate and experiment, bear witness, be joyous, and work. You come ready to work. You come ready to do the good work. The work that means you are willing to put in your precious time, energy, and love into something that you won't know the final results of until after months of it being put to sleep. For those of you who worked on or have gotten to witness Afflicted, This Girl Laughs, Peter and the Starcatcher, Decision Height, Macbeth, and Under Milkwood, you know what this feels like. This is where I confess to you what I've been putting off saying. I cannot give you a fall play. It is just not the right time, and it doesn't feel right. So here I am in the midst of the 2020 pandemic, civil unrest, political insanity backdrop, fittingly enough, on the platform that I plan to break with the help of my faithful theatrical minions, ready to share with you something new. Not a fall play this year, my friends. but a winter one. And in a way that has never, ever, ever been done in Buffalo Seminary's entire history. If you're interested in auditioning, auditions are going to be on Zoom on Tuesday, December 1st. To audition, you will be given a couple different monologues to choose from. You will memorize one and perform it for your audition. If you are interested in being a member of crew, interviews are going to be on Zoom on Thursday, December 3rd. To interview, you will be creating something new that you will need to share with us and answer some fun questions. It is important to note that crew be prepared to be the supreme problem solvers. Positions available will be stage crew, costume, set, light, sound, technology, house managers, yes, electronic ticketing, marketing, ushers, crowd warmers, community outreach. All audition and interview information will be on the fall play page. It's in costume for winter. By tomorrow evening. I'm going to ask Ms. Adamczak if she would be kind enough to help put up a quick link to reference on the portal front page. But now, would you like to hear about the play? The snow surrounding the village of Kishka may be real, but it's also a surrogate for darkness itself, an absence of life and meaning that we're told is always thickest when people are cold to each other. It takes the whole play of Kishka's villagers to discover this simple truth. As things get underway, they're too busy making things complicated by forming the Doing Something Council and its various subcommittees, each filled with squabbling adults solving nothing while the village suffers. We've all been there. It's a child who immediately grasps what the adults, both in Kishka and throughout the ensuring outward bound journey, continually miss. Mindless repetitions of the old ways of doing things won't advance the ball. To save Kishka, one must first muster the courage to leave it, exposing oneself to new ways of seeing rather than standing pat or staying put. The 2021 winter play will be The Snow by Finnegan Crookmeyer. I look forward to exploring all this new with you. Please consider exposing yourself to new ways of seeing and audition or interview for a chance to be part of this production. Have a terrific Monday and a beautiful time off. Be safe.
Oh my God. I'm so excited. Woo! Everyone should audition and interview and do as much as you possibly can. The play is one of the, oh my God. Everyone should just definitely take advantage of this opportunity. With that wonderful send-off, I will say thank you. That is all I have, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye!